Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Historic flash flooding leaves at least 3 people dead and many without a home. We'll have more on the damage in just a moment, but first we want to get the latest on the possibility of even more rain. WYMT's Brandon Robinson begins our Severe Weather Alert Day team coverage. Brandon.
Steve, right now things are, and I hesitate to use this word, quiet, but I don't know if that's going to last too long. Remember this time yesterday, it was the calm before the literal storms, and that might be the same situation tonight. Live pinpoint Doppler radar, still fairly quiet, but you still see a lot of flood warnings ongoing out there in all the rivers there along the Kentucky River, different locations and branches. There's a flash flood warning there south of Wayne County there in parts of East Tennessee. So we're watching that. Again, some heavy rain coming down through that way. You never want to see that maroon box there, and a couple of heavier bands of rain in south Campbell County down in East Tennessee. But for most of us, just a little bit of heat. We're still got some sensors out there, probably due to some power outages at the Hazard and Pike County airports, maybe over in Clintwood. We've got 82 in Manchester, 83 in Jackson, 82 Prestonsburg, 88 though in Ashland, 86 in Somerset and Monticello, 82 in Harlan, 75 in Jonesville. 13 degrees colder in Jonesville today from this time yesterday, 2 degrees colder in Prestonsburg, 3 in London, and 4 in Williamsburg and Monticello. Weather app forecast, remember, we're going to be continuing to see the possibility for chances for scattered showers and storms throughout the night. So have that app handy and stay weather aware. Steve?
Brandon, thank you. The overnight flooding in eastern Kentucky has devastated many communities, severely impacting parts of Perry and Breathitt counties. WYMT's Alyssa Williams was in those counties today.
You might call Lee Southwood one of the lucky ones.
It came up so fast on us, we didn't have anything to do.
While the Breathitt County man's home received minimal flooding, water surrounded his neighbors' homes and swept many from their foundations.
People lost everything they got, you know.
Thursday afternoon, standing water submerged roadways like Highway 28 in Perry County and Highway 15 in Breathitt.
And it's beyond the scale of anything that I've ever been involved with in my 24 years with Fish and Wildlife.
The efforts of first responders hit differently for them. Many we spoke to have their own families they worry about. Are
they okay? Is everybody out? And so it's devastating, to say the least. But as first responders, we've got to set that aside and keep moving forward. And there's a job to be done.
With more rain in the forecast,
do not go into the water. You don't know what's occurring in that water. You don't know the currents. You don't know if the roadway's still intact. Turn around.
First responders encourage everyone to be aware of their surroundings and to stay in a safe place. Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
And it is recommended that if you are searching for a loved one, need medical help, or anything of that nature, you should contact your local Kentucky State Police post for assistance and do not call 911. The impact of flooding throughout the region has led to Frankfort taking action. Governor Andy Beshear signed a state of emergency this morning, activating the Kentucky National Guard to deliver supplies to the region. The order will also open up shelters at Buckhorn Lake State Park, Pine Mountain State Park, and Jenny Wiley State Park. He said in a briefing today that the recovery for many families may take years.
What we're going to see coming out of this is massive property damage. We expect the loss of life. Hundreds will lose their homes, and this is going to be yet another event that it's going to take not months, but likely years for many families to rebuild and recover from.
The governor also stressed to Kentuckians to never drive through water and to turn around, don't drown. We've heard that so many times from Brandon and others in the last 24 hours. So important. Well, the exact impact of the flooding still to be determined, but officials say this is one of the hardest hits these communities have seen in decades. Now they are working to wrap up rescue efforts to move toward recovery. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more on that from Pike County.
Waters raging, homes destroyed, families cut off.
From what I've seen so far, the flooding is worse now than it was in 1984. But of course, there's areas that we simply haven't been able to get to assess that.
Floodwaters surrounded several Pike County communities Thursday morning, leaving people displaced or trapped as crews worked to bring them to safety.
And it's a frustrating thing for first responders is the fact that We had people that were calling in for needs, and we couldn't get to them.
With the layout of the impacted areas and the level of the water forcing first responders into a waiting game.
The roadway would be flooded, then you would go a quarter of a mile, and then it's 4 miles of dry pavement, and then you come to another flooded area, and you can't get boats through those areas.
Though officials confirmed no severe injuries, deaths, or missing people in the area, they say they are not yet in the clear.
So we are very concerned that even though as the water's starting to come down right now, that we could get additional heavy rain that would cause more flooding for already saturated areas.
Focused on getting people to safety for now.
We're doing everything we can at this point to try to get plans in place for the recovery process. But right now we're still in the rescue operation.
And finding a little security in the future.
As Buddy Forbes reporting, there is a relief station at Shelby Valley High School where people in the area can go if they need shelter or emergency supplies. Crews are still working in the area to reach everyone impacted. Kentucky State Police is working to respond to areas affected by flooding. Post 13 in Hazard and other KSB posts are receiving, as you can imagine, high volumes of calls. Troopers ask that community members only call 911 in case of an emergency. Now, police have provided guidance on who you can call if you have a loved one missing. If you're in Breathitt, Perry, Knott, Letcher, or Leslie counties, some of the hardest hit counties, you can call Post 13 Hazard at 606-435-6069. If you're in Magoffin, Johnson, Martin, Floyd, or Pike counties, all those counties had flooding too, you can contact Post 9 in Pikeville at 606-433-7711. If you're in Jackson, Owsley, or Lee counties, contact Post 7 in Richmond at 859-623-2404. If you're in Wolf or Morgan counties, contact Post 8 in Moorhead at 606-784-4127. If you're in Harlan County, didn't have as much flooding down there, you can contact Post 10 in Harlan at 606-573-3131. State Police urge people to report a missing loved one by sending an email to KSP PUBAFF. You can see that website there, that email address there on your screen. That's KSP PUBAFF at ky.gov, and include the following information: your name, first and last, your phone number, and your missing loved one's name, first and last. And we have lots more information about this and shelters set up over on WYMT.com. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, you've budgeted for classroom supplies and new clothes, but what about a year of school activities and field trips? Advice on how to save as your kids head into the new year.
It's calm for now, but we are still facing down the threat for more heavy rain and more possible flooding. I'll have the latest forecast in just a few minutes.